Hello, everybody. Kelly, dealershipnews.com. And today we have a special guest. It's Ed Emerson, and he is Dealership News GM of the Month out of Capital Toyota in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're happy to say that they are the dealership of the week as well, and he's the one pulling the reins. He's the one at the steering wheel. Ed, congrats, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Kelly. It's a pleasure.
Great to have you on board today. Absolutely. Let's start off with what the heck got you into the car business to begin with? What did you do beforehand? We're just trying to understand what your path to success was.
Well, never thought I would be in the automotive industry, to be quite honest with you. I'm one of three boys in the family, and I joined the Air Force and was out west and ended up moving back to Chattanooga and always loved automobiles. And I guess the thing that got me in the automobile business was my father. He was in the industry for 32 years. And he worked at Capital Toyota for 18 years. And when he got close to retiring, they taught me into coming aboard. And I started in June 1990, and here I am today.
All in the family.
All in the family.
Hey, thank you so much for your service. What did you do in the Air Force? Did you fly?
No, but I made sure that they could. I was a jet engine technician and phase inspections at Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix, Arizona.
Sure.
If you don't know that, that's the world's largest tactical training wing. That's where everybody gets trained to fly those jets.
Yeah, I lived in Arizona in 1982 to 1983, and then I remember I was in Phoenix when the famous Phoenix Lights event occurred, and I know that Luke Air Force scrambled 3 F-16s to go after what they called were flares. Of course, we know they weren't, but hey, that's just another story for another time. So let's talk about your dealership. What do you guys do to go above and beyond to guarantee good service and satisfied customers who would be inclined to give you guys great reviews, which you do get?
Well, I'll tell you, everybody knows that, I tell my guys daily, there's Toyota dealers, there's Lexus dealers. Those signs are everywhere. And what sets us apart is our team. It's the people that we have employed there. I've been blessed to put together a great team of very, very talented people. And we've made it a people business, not a car business. And we try to take care of our customer. We're over 50 years old, first Toyota dealer in the state of Tennessee. And Mr. McCamey got into that when Toyota was taking off. And we're family owned and operated, and that's the way we treat our customers.
You know, it's interesting. We have what we call the national dealership standings. We don't have them for Chattanooga, but I do believe we have them. I want to say we have them for Nashville. Right, guys? Yeah, we do have them for Nashville. We keep track of calendar month sales for every major dealership except for Ford. BMW and VW, we just don't have those numbers, unfortunately. But one thing I could tell you for sure is that if you're selling Toyotas or Jeeps, you're doing pretty good in a relatively downturn new car market last year. So more power to you, and having the company for having the vision to bring Toyota on, somewhat 18 years ago. It's a hell of a ride. I've been driving Toyotas since I was 30, so I've had a Toyota in the families for too long. I won't give away the amount of time, but so how do you guys give back to the community? Are there any fun promotions that you guys have come up with that resonate within your community? Do you sponsor Little League teams? What goes on over there?
We do a little bit of every bit of that. We're major contributors. At one time, Mr. McCamey was the largest single contributor to the March of Dimes in the state of Tennessee. And we're constantly giving back and investing into our community. Chattanooga it's really taken off, and it's a growing. We got a lot of people coming into this marketplace, and from out of town. So our local economy has really been strong, which was a major contributor to our success in 2018. We've broken many records, store records this year, as far as sales and profitability. One of the things that we always do, we're in November and December, we run a drive for every car that we sell. We're going to donate a bike to Toys for Tots, and we have
great.
the Marines come in, and we gave away over 100 new bicycles, and our technicians and all of the employees get down there. We got an area in our dealership which has been newly remodeled, and they put all of these bikes together, and then we collect toys from the community. And that's one of the beautiful things about the South, man. I've been all over the United States, but people they've got big hearts, and they love to give, and Mr. McCamey's he's just big into that. We have McCamey Animal Center, which he was $1 million contributor to one of the to that facility here, where they take care of animals and do rescues and things of that nature. So, a lot of different ways there.
I'll tell you what, I'm proud to have you guys as the dealership of the week, and certainly you as the GM of the month. That's really nice to hear. You don't get as much of that out here, and that kind of tugs at my heartstrings. Actually, the animals and being able to give bicycles for every car sold, that's off the charts. That really is off the charts. And that is what's special about the South. I lived in Texas for quite some time, and it's a different vibe than out here on the coast, or I'm certain on the East Coast as well. Let's talk top sellers. Let's talk about car sales. So, aside from the Corolla and the Camry, what other models do you think are going to do well in 2019? And oh, by the way, we've got some intel on the Supra that's coming out. We've seen it. We've seen it on the freeway here. They're keeping it camouflaged, but we're going to put a little article out here shortly the next week.
Well, I was privileged to get to see that car. I attend all of the national dealer meetings for both Lexus and Toyota. I run both our stores, and we have both brands, and we're excited to see the Supra finally coming our way. Toyota talked about that car for a long time, as the public's they've been itching to get that car brought back into the marketplace, and that's exciting. As far as what we see for 2019, everybody knows what the SUV market has been doing to passenger car, and when Ford decides to totally do away with passenger car, with the exception of a couple of models, and keep the SUVs out there, we have that same situation here, of course. With the redesign of the Camry, that helped. We saw Camry really take off there, and Toyota's starting to reach into a younger demographic. But the car that's really doing well, and it's their best seller now, is the RAV4, and that's a brand new model. It's a brand new design for Toyota for 2019, and we're going to have those cars hitting the ground here actually within the next few days. And I saw that car, and we expect it to do very, very well.
I agree with you 100%. We almost bought one. We went with a Prius instead, because I think at that time we also had a Honda Passport. And then they discontinued that. Am I getting it right? Yeah. But our next door neighbor has a RAV4 and love it. And I saw the new ones as well. They're really, really nice. I think it's going to be a huge hit for you guys, and certainly hoping it is. But so let's question about electric cars and the Prius. How did the Prius do for you last year? And do you see an uptrend in the interest in electric vehicles in your area, or is it sort of flat, or do you see it slightly leaning downward?
Well, I just finished with NADA Academy this year, and I was fortunate enough to get to spend a year there, and that was a large topic of conversation. Understanding where we are located in the Chattanooga area, we are starting to see traffic become heavier as people are moving in, and there's definitely going to have to be some changes in infrastructure to accommodate that, and some more lanes added to the freeway for sure. But the Prius is, it's a great selling car for us. Does it do as well here as it does in San Francisco or maybe California or even up in Washington, D.C. area where I was for a year. No, it doesn't. But we do have customers that are loyal to that car. The fuel economy, your Prius buyer is going to always be a Prius buyer. And the beautiful thing is Toyota, they lead the industry in that technology. We are moving into the electric segment. And even with Mirai, there's the little H2O going on right there with hydrogen. So I've driven that car. So one of the things that we're seeing with Toyota is they don't want to be recognized for just an automotive company. And this is something they've been, preaching to the dealers in our meetings for the past few years now. Mm-hmm. They're going to be known as a mobility company and not just cars. And so they're always they spend a lot of money in research and technology as far as staying ahead of the curve on those things. So, but the Prius, it is a good seller here. It doesn't do as well as it does in some of those major metro areas that I mentioned earlier, but we still do well with the car.
Yeah, last year I had the good fortune of meeting Toyota-san, the El Queso Grande of Toyota. well, folks, that's Ed Emerson, and he is the Dealership News GM of the Month as we cross December 2018 off of our calendar, headed into 2019. He's got a great vision of the future, certainly for his dealership and for Toyota, and we're certainly rooting for him to continue all the good work that he's doing over at Capital Toyota. And again, Ed, thank you so much. Congrats, and we'll definitely be in touch, and have a great, and Merry Christmas.
Kelly, same to you, and appreciate you very much. And it's just a pleasure. I'm glad to be a part of this business.
And great to have you in the industry. All right, folks, that's it. DealershipNews.com is wrapping it up for 2018. Hope you had a great one, and looking forward to serving you all in 2019. Until then, Merry Christmas.